YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Absolutely do not watch if you are easily offended. Do excuse me. I'm just finishing off, sorting out, getting ready. I have had everything in this room completely rejigged and rearranged this afternoon. So although you can't see it, this cloth and that is now significantly further back than it was. And you can also see the lovely Truth. This is Truth here. My lovely statue. You can see him a lot closer, which is always a good thing. Right. Good evening, everybody. It is Beyond Authentic. My name is Lisa, and we're going to be doing some tarot readings tonight. But this is a little bit different because it is a late shift. So how is it going to be different tonight? Well, it's later. It's a few hours later in the day. That's pretty much how it's different. So yeah, it's going to be pretty much exactly the same as it normally is, just a couple of hours later, if that makes sense. So I am very aware that my hair is looking rather weird and wonderful at the moment. There is a whole story of that going on, which I will probably forget to tell, or maybe tell in another video on t'other channel. But anyway, I have now completely forgotten what I was about to say. I was going to say something to y'all and I've forgotten already. But anyway, good evening, everybody. My name is Lisa. This is, as I say, Beyond Authentic. We've got an amazing team here. Some of them have shown up already. Look at the moderators here in the chat. We've got Necro Neil. Now, Neil is actually one of my closest, oldest friends. And I have known Neil for about, more years than either of us care to admit. Something like 25 years now, because obviously we met in the womb. We're not related, but you know, I'm not that old. We've got Ed, who is another one of our lovely moderators. Ed is all Viking-y and has a large collection of big choppers. And I'm moving on. And we've got the lovely Patricia here as well. Hello, everyone. Hope you are all well. I don't think all three mods are going to make it until the end of the session today. In fact, I wasn't even sure that Ed and Patricia were going to be here at all. But I knew that Neil would, because Neil was like, I've got a free evening. Let's do a session. So back in the old days, having a free evening and doing a session would involve going to a pub or a bar and drinking and, you know, all of that. But these days, because we are both old, when we talk about a session, it's either filming a podcast or doing a live stream. So there. Good evening to Cindy. Hello, my darling. I hope you are well. Good evening to Alina Purple. Oh, my God, I love your name. Maybe I should change my surname to Purple. Lisa Purple. Oh, no, it doesn't sound right, does it? Doesn't sound right. You liked and subscribed. Okay, my darling. People call you Amira. Okay, my darling. I haven't opened questions yet. There are... Oops. Hang on. I've just noticed. Here we go. I'll do this. I'll do the housekeeping rules first of all. We will open a free round a little bit later, my darling. Hi, Wolf Boyo. You're cold and huddled up in bed. Oh, poor Wolf Boyo. I hope you're feeling better soon. You've got a thick frost beginning to settle. Does that mean you're going to have snow in the morning? It's. Do you know what? I still get excited like a small child. Hoping for a snow day from school. I don't go to school now. I don't need a snow day. Like every day can be a snow day if it snows. I don't need it to be a certain anything. But I still, it's one of those things where if the weather forecast says there's a chance of snow, and when I go to sleep, it's like you just peek out the window and you go, I don't think it's going to lay. And then you're going, you just sleep like that. And then you wake up and you look out the window and it's full of snow and it's like, yay! And then you get out of bed and it's bloody freezing. And then, yeah, all of that. I know, right? You see, for those of you outside the UK, we don't get a lot of snow. I'm actually in the middle of the country, sort of slightly above the middle of the country. And we don't often get a lot of snow. I know like some places in the States get like 6 or 7 foot of snow all the time, and it's just a regular thing. But, you know, for us here, we still get excited. It makes the evening news if there's going to be a snowflake, you know. Honestly, you know, they literally say, look after all your animals, bring your animals in, put some food out for the hedgehogs, because there's going to be a single snowflake falling in Leeds somewhere. Emergency conditions the gritties are out in force. We'll be fine. I know, right? Because of course you're trying not to put the heating on, but it's making your asthma bad. Yeah, I know that feeling very well. Wolf Boyo, trust me, I know that feeling very well. The only thing I can suggest is wrapping up in lots of blankets. Rufus very kindly bought me one of these Oodie things, you know, like the giant fleecy hoodie thing that you climb into. It's like a dress made out of a hoodie, made out of teddy bear soft, fluffy, warm material. And that is generally at the moment one of my go-to outfits, not just for bed, but just for like if I'm just popping around the flat and not really doing an awful lot. I will wear that a lot because it's very comfy. And he's bought me a second one, which is even longer. So it is like a proper maxi dress. So yeah, I know, right? Isn't he kind? I don't think they're the branded ones. I think they're ones that he got from TikTok Shop, because that seems to be the only place that Rufus buys anything these days, is TikTok Shop. Oh, hang on. I've just realized I've got things where my bell should be. There we go. That's better. Right then. So we have got some housekeeping rules on this channel. So as always, I'm just going to hit this. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. I do keep saying it, but that last point is really important. Do look after your own digital privacy, okay? So then how do we get questions on this channel? Do I have a list? How does it work? Blah, 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 blah. Wow, it's very simple. All you need to do is wait until I open up a free round. Do I have buttons today? No, it doesn't look like I have working buttons. It's such a big job to reconnect everything. Oh, hang on. Maybe I do. What's just happening? I don't want to do anything. Hang on, bear with me 1 second, everybody. Okay. Okay, sorry, bear with me. I've got remind me later. I don't need that updated. So then is that working? No, it's not. It just made me do a load of sign-in stuff and I thought that was going to work, but it didn't. Oh, I'm so gutted. Anyway, never mind. Right, we are going to open up a free round. So as I say, there are 2 ways to get a reading on this channel, okay? The first way is to send it through as a super chat. That comes through automatically. It goes on a separate screen. It's much easier for me to see because it's highlighted differently, but also it means that you are then guaranteed the next slot, okay? So if you want to have a reading, your reading will be guaranteed to be next. So if I'm already doing a reading, yours will be the first one up. Secondly, if you want a longer reading of 6 or 7 cards, then you can send a super chat of £6 or $8 or above, and that will get you that reading. Okay, it will get you that longer reading, 6 or 7 cards, goes into a bit more detail. If, however, you don't want or can't, or your country doesn't allow, or whatever the reason, you don't wish to send a super chat, that's not a problem here. You can wait until I open up a free round and then pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. Okay, that's all that you need to do. So then we are officially opening a round. The opening around now. All I can do, unfortunately, today is to press the button. I can't make the text come up in the chat section like I would do normally, but I can get it running on the bottom of the screen. So then the next round is officially open. Get your questions in now, everybody. One of those will be selected at random by the keeper of the questions. And yeah, you've got about 30 seconds to get your questions in. Fingers crossed that yours is chosen. Yes, indeed. Let's have a look. Amira, let me have a look. Do you know what? I've got a dodgy smudge or something on my glasses. I'll clean that in just a second, because I am sure that initially said America, and then it altered to Amira. That's because my ADHD brain looks at something, thinks I know what it is, and then, oh, no, it isn't. I've got to look at that again. All right, then, let me have a look. Amira. Hang on. Do I have a question from Amira? Oh, sorry. Alina. Hello, my darling. Oh, yes, I've got you. Thank you, Neil. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Alina, who is on as Amira. That makes sense. God, you all know how to confuse me, don't you? This is where my poor brain, my poor ADHD brain, not only is it an ADHD brain, but it's very late at night, and I'm very old now. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's had a few trips around the moon, or the sun, has my poor brain. So yeah, let's have a look then. So Alina, I've got your question up now. So then, as always, I am going to swap cameras, and oh, hang on, I'm not even on the right screen. Your question will be up in 17 seconds, my darling, while I change the camera. Don't go anywhere. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh, my God. I'm just deciding once again between the decks that I have. Do I want to use, or the two that I've got on my desk currently, do I want to use, what are we thinking? I'm thinking Lightseers, you know. It isn't my favorite deck, but it's got some lovely cards in it, and it does suit a sort of evening-y sort of time. Let me know, everybody, where in the world you are, because I know that we are here in the UK. Obviously, I know the time of day that it is here. I'm going to use this today as well. I know what time of day it is here in the UK, but let me know whereabouts you are in the world and what time of day it is where you are. Right then, so for Alina, or for Amira, I should say, we are going to ring the bell to cleanse the energy of the space. So just make sure that in between readings and before doing the readings tonight, we get a lovely cleansed area. We bring in Wispy, who is the air elemental dragon. And so then for Alina Purple, otherwise known as Amira, Amira wants to know, how does Wally currently consciously feel about Amira? So how does Wally feel about Amira? That was 2 cards, everybody, not 1. So if a single card jumps, we look at it as a clarifying, or modifying card, not a qualifying card. So then let's have a look, my darling. Oh, it does help if we hold the cards the right way around, Lisa. There we go. Right then, my darling. So let's have a look. Let's put this in place. Let's see if this works for an actual reading. So it's not going to, is it? Because see, that's what I was thinking. The hole is so deep, it cuts off the names of the cards, which then means my poor brain struggles. I'll just use that for personal readings. Right then, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles coming up in where you are. Okay, so we asked Wispy, how does Wally currently feel about you? And we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Now that, okay, I'm gonna pull all 3 cards. We've got the King of Wands coming in the what you need to know position, and for the future perspectives, we've got the 6 of Swords. Right, both of these 2 are reversed. Okay, my darling, let's have a look at this for you then. So the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is all about basically being a little bit down on your luck, needing some support, or needing some charitable help, something like that. It can relate to either the people this side of the door that are left out in the cold. Sometimes, as you can see in this case, this person is very down on their luck. Sometimes you see beggars, sometimes you see other sort of depictions of homeless people. Sometimes the cards will actually also show you the people inside where the wealth is. And this is a card that's really talking about turmoil and a disturbance in the force, if you like, but a disturbance around money issues and job security. You can see that we've got the key here to open the door, but even though the key is there and the light is shining, this person still isn't able to open it. They don't feel able to open that door without support. And so when we're looking at how Wally feels about you, my darling, I think there's a lot of conflicting emotions there. It feels like, I don't know whether the 2 of you have had a relationship or had a connection in the past, and now it's kind of soured a bit, or whether the 2 of you, whether you're hoping for a connection with Wally, but it does feel very, it does feel very much on a knife edge, put it that way. It doesn't feel like it's in a good place. So hopefully that makes some sort of sense. In terms of what you need to know, we've got the King of Wands. Now, if it was this way up, the King of Wands is absolutely a lovely card, because if it was this way up, as you can see, we've got a rather handsome king there, also a lion in the background, another form of king, but we've got the handsome king with a staff, and so he is showing his authority very, very casually, very for a lot of other decks, the kings are decked out in crowns and robes and all sorts, but this king is very understated, even though he has a tendency historically to be seen as a little bit arrogant because of the wands, because it is all about self-esteem and confidence. But this is reversed. Now, for me, coming straight after this, I think Wally is either really, really lacking in confidence, or something has happened and it's meant that he's, how can I put it? He's had to kind of either take a step back, or you've kicked him to the curb. Does that make sense? One or the other. It's like he's lost his place at the Thanksgiving table. By the way, for all of my American viewers, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrate it. But it does feel like I hope that what you're wanting to hear is that Wally is kind of gone and done and it's all over with, because the Six of Swords is a difficult card. The swords in this deck are represented by these lovely crows, and you can see this woman here she looks wretched. She looks like she looks like she could be a horror villain. Do you know what I mean? But she is being pulled by these three crows across the ocean. These other three crows are keeping up with her. The swords are representative of troubles, hurdles in life, challenges, and she's taking those with her. But because it's reversed, it's like we think the problems are done. We don't realize we're taking them with us. And the thing about the sixes for me is that it's about community. And so it feels like whatever this connection is, although it feels like to a large extent it's done, it's kind of over, I don't know whether you are not wanting to let go or whether Wally is not wanting to let go, but it feels like one of you is kind of, you've got the relationship still with the rope tied around it, and as much as you're saying, oh, we don't need that anymore, oh, we're past that, oh, I'm beyond, it kind of feels like you're being dragged by the embers of that relationship. Does that make sense? And it's almost like the echoes of it are keeping you in motion for some reason. This is in the future possible, so I don't think we're there yet where it's got quite desperate, but it does feel like if you can avoid this, I absolutely would, my darling, because this feels quite desperate. This card feels quite desperate to me. It feels like it feels like trying to hang on to a relationship that has long since finished. I hope that makes some sense, Alina. Sorry, Amira. Right, I'm going to pull you a intuitive insight oracle card. And we've got, it's your lesson, my darling. Whatever's happened, this is the lesson. It's time to move on from this. It's time to move on from this, my darling. Take this as your lesson in life. Whatever happened in this relationship or whatever happened in the connection with this person, it's either a lucky escape that you've got or a lucky escape for Wally, but it's just basically this was not meant for you. Okay, let it pass you by. Let it, as Patricia says, what's meant for you won't pass you by, right? If it's meant for you, it will come to you. And I think this is absolutely, my darling, this is the lesson for you. And I think it's just something that we all have to learn, that lesson in life at some point. And I hope that helps. I'm sorry if it wasn't the information that you were hoping for, but as I always say, all I can do is give you the information that the cards give me. And there you go. That is going to be your reading for this evening, my darling. But thank you very much for your question. Right then, everybody, let me go into the comments section. Hang on one second. Nope, not that one. I'm on a different screen again. I wish, do you know what? One of these days, I'm going to have a camera behind so you can all see all the different buttons that I press and how many times I get the wrong one, because my brain's trying to narrate what I'm doing for you all, but it's also trying to run the stream keep an eye on the internet connection, keep an eye on the mod chat, and everything else all at once. It's a little bit bonkers, but anyway. By the way, Neil, did you see the message that I sent on their Instagram, just in case the person comes in tonight? All right then, let me have a look in the chat. It is Amira. Yes, my darling, it does. I said, like, does that make sense or something? Your phone is barely working and it's hard to contact him. Do you know what? This could be the universe's way of saying, you know, we're going to make it really difficult for you two to connect, because maybe it's better if you're not connected. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's sometimes like me and my current husband. That sounds bad. My only husband. Me and my other half. We lived in the same city for numerous times. Okay, but I moved out of the city when he moved in. I moved up to Leeds. He eventually moved up to Leeds just after I'd moved out of Leeds. So he was up in Leeds. We used to go to the same bars. We used to know the same people. One of his best friends turned out to be the brother of somebody I went to school with. We had all of these weird and wonderful connections, but had never, ever met. And then when we did, we met as friends and got to know one another. And then it became something different. But the same thing, we could have had a connection early on and it just wasn't the right time. But when we talk about things, we've got the same vague circles of friends. It's like if I say, oh yeah, I used to go to whatever the bar was called, we'll call it the Green Bar, right? Oh, I used to go to the Green Bar, it was amazing on a Saturday night. He would say, oh, actually I preferred Tuesdays when it was rock music night, or whatever it was. It's so weird having that sort of shorthand with somebody that wasn't there at the same time I was. It's a very odd connection. But this is the same thing, Amira. Sometimes if it's meant for you, you will connect. If you're finding it hard to literally contact him at the moment, then maybe the universe is telling you that the best thing for you to do, my darling, is to have no contact and for you to move on. I really hope that helps. Thank you ever so much for your question, my darling. Right then, onwards and upwards. Exactly. Best of luck to you, Amira, my darling. I hope it does. I hope it works out for you and is everything that you need in moving forward and learning to love yourself and finding somebody that's going to make you feel special, and if not, making yourself feel special. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Right then, don't post your questions in yet, everybody. Wait until I post a free round. In fact, let's have this one ticking along there. Oh, there we go. So then, if you are new here, all the details of how to get a reading are on the bottom of the screen. Night Ed, thank you for popping in, my darling. Nights. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs eat you alive. Is that what bed bugs do? I don't know. Do you remember when that used to be sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite? That was just a nursery rhyme, and all of a sudden it's come back. What's next? Are we going to start singing Ring Around the Rosie? A pocket full of, no, what is it? Ring around the roses, a tissue, we all fall down because we've got the plague or something. You know, are we going to be going back to that? Who can say? Anyway, let's move forward. I think I'm going to keep this screen on for most of the doodah tonight. Although I did just spend a fair bit of time. I'm not going to. I'm going to have to move it because I did spend a fair bit of time making the back look all nice and warm and glowy. So, yeah, we'll keep that on tonight. Right then. So it is time. Shall we have another free round? I think we should. Let's go for another free round. So then, if you would like a tarot reading, what do you need to do? Well, first of all, the next round is open. So get your question in, starting with the word question. Now, one of those at random will be picked and that person will get their reading. Okay, it's done at random. One of the keepers of the questions will pop a name into the moderator chat and let me know. They've got spinny things and wheelie things and all of that that I used to have, but it was taking so much time. I was spending more time picking the person to do the reading for than I was doing the readings. So now it's done for me. Thank you ever so much to the mods for that. Takes care of a lot of stuff. So anyway, if you want to guarantee that your reading is next, you can do that by sending a super chat. If you want to guarantee a longer reading, say if you want to have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more information, then you can do so by sending a super chat of at least £6 or $8 or above, or the equivalent. Okie dokie. So that's what you need to do. The free round is open. Go ahead, pop your question in, and you never know, it might be you. Okay, let's do. Okay, we've got Cindy, okie dokie. Let me just Cindy. I always think it's spelt with an S, because when we were kids, me and my sister had all sorts of various different toys and dolls and things. And one of the things that we played with was the Cindy dolls. They were a lot like Barbie, but like a cheap version, or maybe not a cheap version, but like a British version of Barbie. And yeah, and that was always spelt with an, I think it was spelt with an S. I'm sure it was spelt with an S. So yeah, it was spelt with an S. So anyway, Cindy, I've got your question, my darling. Let me have a look. I'm going to take the ticker tape off the bottom of the screen and change the camera, and your reading will be up in approximately go on. We'll do it really quick. We'll do it in, hang on. Oh, I've lost my buttons. There we go. I'll do your reading in 7 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, that didn't work, everybody. That really didn't work. Yeah, that did not work at all. I very nearly had washi tape in my coffee. Right, that was not good. Let me if you could have seen what just happened. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! There we go. Sorry, I've just realized my mic was off. Cindy, your question, my darling. Let's have a look. So we're going to Wispy, and we're going to cleanse the space as we always do. And we're going to bring Cindy's question in. So, may I know if V has feelings for me? You work together. Okay, Cindy. So, Wispy, does V have feelings for Cindy? Does V have feelings for Cindy? They currently work together. Let's have a look. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me now again, Neil. I did just mute myself, but it should be working again now. Right then, let's have a look. So what is happening between Cindy and V? Here we go. Oh, got a good cut there. Got a good cut right then. So, where you are right now. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is work, career, finances. So, interesting. What you need to know. Four of Cups. Cups is emotional suit. And so then, what is coming up in the future? The potential in the future. The Eight of Cups. Okay, right. Okay, so there's definitely a spark, right? There's definitely a spark here because we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, knights for me are teenage energy. It's the sort of it's the energy of people that rush in with all guns blazing, right? They don't worry about the repercussions of their actions, but if they did worry about it, they'd go ahead and do stuff anyway. Do you know what I mean? They're just that type of people. They just go off and do whatever they think is the right thing to do in that moment. The thing about the Pentacles is it's all about work and career and finance. So it could well be that this person that you're working with, it could be that there is an interest there. The thing about the Knights, though, they can be a little bit players. They can be a little bit playful, a little bit flirty. So be careful that you're not just misreading a sign. Do you know what I mean? Be careful you're not just misreading someone who's a little bit flirtatious and thinking, oh, is that just how they are with everyone, or are they just doing that for me? Make sure that it's just aimed at you, not going to everybody, if that makes sense. Because the energy that we've got, what you need to know, right? The energy that we've got that you need to know, we've got the Four of Cups. Cups is your emotional suit. So it's all about romance and all of those lovely things. The Four is about stability. So this is getting to a nice sort of a stable place. As you can see with this person's face, it's sometimes considered maybe a little bit dull, a little bit boring, a little bit uninteresting, but it is in one of those spaces where something good is happening. So yeah, I would say, even though this person looks a little bit bored by it all, having some stability, especially coming off the back of a Knight energy, being able to transfer that into some stable, loving energy, I think is absolutely fantastic. I think that's a really good shift, going from that slightly impetuous energy into something a little bit more solid and a little bit more stable. It leads to, in the future, to the Eight of Cups. Now, the thing about the Eight of Cups, right? It's all about the journey to the 9. The eight of anything is all about hard work, perseverance, and you're nearly at your goal's end. You've nearly achieved everything you're wanting to achieve. I think, looking at these three cards in tandem, in tri-tandem, whatever that is, right? Looking at these three cards together, I think there is a very, very, very good chance that V does have at least an interest, right? There's definitely some sort of connection here. The only thing I would say, my darling, is watch out for the Knight, because they are known to be slightly impetuous. They are known, if I was to say, he might not be thinking with his big head. I hope you know what I'm saying. And yeah, just make sure, if you do go into anything and you do, maybe get to know him and start something, just make sure that you're the only one that is in a relationship, that he's in a relationship with, unless you like the polyamory type lifestyle and all of that, in which case, you go for it. But just make sure that he is actually free, single, and ready to mingle, and that he's not just wanting, someone to go home to on a Thursday night because he's working late and can't be bothered driving all the way back. Do you know what I mean? Right, let me pull you an intuition card as well. These have been so good recently. We got these in the Witch Casket box, and they're really, really, it's literally one word per card, and they have been so good at linking in with the reading. So then, what is your card today? It's blessings. Right then, my darling. So yeah, it does feel like there is a really good connection here, and that this feels like it's a really nice thing. I would say that you really got to, maybe, well, not you listen, you don't have to. Tarot is all about making your own choices in life. This is just giving you a few pointers at directions you might be interested in looking into. The blessings card is all literally what it says on the tin. This feels like it could be a really nice, blessed connection. It doesn't mean you have to do this. It doesn't mean you have to go on a date with him, ask him out, whatever. It just is suggesting that, overall, it looks like a more positive outcome than a negative. Hopefully, my darling, that makes sense. This blessings card is lovely. So yeah, hopefully, my darling, all goes well. Right then, let's pop into the live chat. No. There we go. Cindy. Oh, okay, here we go. You can't understand him sometimes. Do you know what? I'm going to sound incredibly sexist here, but do you know what? He's a bloke. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't understand them. I mean, them as a race. Sometimes he's nice and other times he's not. It really, I think it depends on like how things are in the workplace, because being in the workplace always puts a wrinkle on things, because some workplaces have rules about dating co-workers. Some places have, if he's superior to you, if he's been there longer, any of that sort of stuff. If he's in your same department, they can have issues. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes if you are working for somewhere and you really like a co-worker, it's quite common for people to be a little bit tepid and a little bit unsure as they kind of try and feel it out whether that co-worker is interested. And then if they are, then are the two of you got any actual spark of connection or anything? And if you do, well, then how do we move forward? He's your manager. Well, there you go, my darling. What was I just saying? What was I literally, the words coming out of my mouth hole as I was talking to you? If he's your manager, then as much as he may want to wine and dine you, he's also got to be prepared that there are rules about dating underlings, I think is the word. People under you. There are rules around that. Now, it may be that your particular company has a more relaxed view on, intercompany relations and things like that, but there will still be, yeah, absolutely, my darling, absolutely. Maybe, listen, I don't know whereabouts you are in the world, my love, but maybe if there is a Christmas party, right, or a New Year party, if your office or your work or whatever it is, if you do anything like that, it's a very common place for people that may or may not have a little feeling or a little crush for each other under the mistletoe or under the influence of a little bit of shandy booze, for them to just go, oh, hi, oh, look, we're both under the mistletoe. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? And then you realize, oh, actually, we do both feel the same way. We do kind of want to progress this. It's a good excuse. Oh, He invited everyone but you. I would call him on that, my darling. I would say, excuse me, boss man Bob, why didn't you, where was my invite? You invited Karen from accounts and you invited Sally from sales. Where's my invite? That's what I would say. And then see what he says. And if he doesn't say, oh, well, actually, I was going to ask you personally with some flowers and a bottle of wine, then just be careful. There's always a weird dynamic with dating a boss. You know, it could get you a promotion, or I mean, I you know, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. Back in the day, that's the way a lot of people did, didn't they? That's the way a lot of people did. Yeah, where's your invitation? But we're past the days of casting couches and things like that now, hopefully. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mark from marketing was there. Why not you? Yeah, Karen from accounts, Sally from sales. I know they were all there. Bill from building services, they got an invite. You know what I mean? Katie from catering, she was even there. I know how you can see I'm struggling now, can't you? Coming up with more names. Anyway, my darling, I hope that helps. But I would, that's actually a really interesting thing. If he's invited everybody else except you, maybe I would just say to him, excuse me, Mr. V, Mr. Boss V man, can I speak to you for a couple of minutes? And then just say, is there a reason I wasn't invited to the works Christmas do or party or whatever it is? Is there a reason that I wasn't invited? Because actually I work a lot. I work a lot for this company. I put in hours and hours and hours of time and at least 3 minutes work during those hours. And I'm here because it's cheaper than paying for my own electricity bill at home. So I'm here for hours and hours every day, drinking your coffee and eating your snacks from the snack machine or whatever it is. Do you know what? I'm waffling on about nothing right now. But yeah, I would absolutely ask him. And you never know, he might say something like, oh, well, why don't you come and speak to me later after work? In which case, listen, in which case you've got a harassment case. Bear that in mind as well, right? It could be that he does have an interest in you, and it could be that he genuinely does like you. But being your manager would put him at a very high risk, potentially, of you saying, I felt that he pushed me too hard into a relationship, or I felt that I had to say yes to keep my job, all of those things. So even if he's really, really smitten with you, he likes everything about you, you light up his world, and in any other situation, he would absolutely make a play for you because he's your boss. That puts a giant spanner into things. So it may be that if you did want to have a relationship with him, that you or he would need to change departments, or one of you would have to break that chain of command. So that might be something he's thinking about as well. And again, that might be why he doesn't invite you to whatever the Christmas event is, because it could be that he doesn't want to be 2 glasses of wine into the evening and make a dodgy comment or a dodgy pass and risk his entire career by quite rightly, as a lot of people do when they get drunk at Christmas parties. There's an awful lot of people that allow the alcohol to take over, and then things happen, and HR cases get a lot of work after Christmas, unfortunately. So just bear that in mind as well. It is very much, I think, it is very much, I think, a valid question as to why he didn't invite you. Just be prepared for the answer. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. I'm getting the wind up signals and the clocks and everything, but I do hope that everything goes well for you, my darling. I really, really do. Right then, I need to I need to nip to the smallest room in the house. Yep, I need to nip for a loo break, for a very quick comfort break, everybody. So I'm gonna play this. I will be back within about a minute, I imagine. I just need to nip off very briefly. Hi, and I am back. Right then, so let's go straight into a brand new round. So if you would like a free reading, do please go ahead, pop your name into that there live chat, starting with the word question. The round is now open. If you want to guarantee your place, then all you need to do is send your question in the form of a super chat. That will automatically come through. And as I say, that actually makes it a lot easier for me to read. That just guarantees you the next slot, okay? If, however, you want a longer reading, then all you need to do is send a super chat of £6 or above. However, as I always say, if you don't want to, you can't, whatever, for whatever reason, just pop your name into the live chat now, starting with the word question, and one of those will be selected at random. Either way, go ahead and do one of those things right now. Okay, so then, who have we got? Keeper of the questions. Let me have a look. Oh gosh, everything just went off my screen. Who have we got? Moon Sun. Moon Sun. Oh, Moon Sun. Oh, and you remember. Hello, Moon Sun. When did you become a member, my darling? Any good changes occurring with my finances? I've got no idea, but we'll have a little look-see and let's look into that for you. So then, Moon Sun, your question will be coming up. Your reading will be coming up in 15 seconds time. Just let me change cameras. Right then, so just bring that a little bit lower. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better, a bit more gooder. So then let's have a wee look for you. So as always, we are cleansing the space between readings. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button, and also while you're there, hit subscribe, ding your bell. Make sure your bell is dinged and that you change your settings to all. That way YouTube should let you know when we do one of these late shifts, or when I upload a video. There's going to be some more videos coming up, starting, I believe, on Sunday. I believe that's when some new videos are going to be coming up, so do keep an eye out for those. Right then, so let's have a look. Wispy Moon Sun would like to know any good changes occurring with their finances. Let's have a look. Any good changes happening with finances, or any changes at all that we can foretell? Good Lord, I seem to have lost the ability to speak today in total. So where you are right now, my dear, we've got the Four of Cups again. You saw me put them in. I always put them in different places in the deck, shuffle it well, and it's popped up again. But anyway, it's in a different place with a different meaning this time. So the Four of Cups in the what you need, where you are now position. What you need to know, we've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, so emotional suits at the moment, and then we've got the Magician reversed. Right then, so I think this is our first court card today as well. So then, what does the Four of Cups mean in this position? What does the Four of Cups mean when it's talking about where we are right now? So again, I think there's some stagnancy going on. It feels very much like nothing's changing. Does that make sense? When you're looking at your career, I think you're a bit fed up. That is what I would say above all else. It's like you're fed up, you're a bit ticked off, you're feeling a bit under the weather with it all, when the idea of getting up and going to work is a grey day, not a great day. Do you know what I mean? That's definitely what it's feeling like at the moment. I think you've got to just bear in mind, right, the light, the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, not the other way around, but the pot of something at the end of this sort of rainbow of color. We've got the red and it goes into orange and yellow here. Is that it's paying your bills, right? It's paying your bills. So whether that is where you're working is paying your bills, whether it's that you're not actually working at the moment, and you're searching for work and you're on some kind of benefits or whatever it is, it's like whatever you're doing right now, it feels like you've got the bare bones covered. Wispy, give me that again. It does feel as if you are working with a boring job, or a job that you are perceiving as boring. It doesn't feel as if you're looking for that new work, or you're looking for a first, or Wispy, give me that again, and let me speak with. Is it because it might be because I'm feeling tired, to be fair? Right. As I'm saying, I don't think that you are currently unemployed. That's what I'm trying to say, and seeking that job to raise your financial situation. I think you are in a job that you probably quite despise at times. It's a little bit like I've got. I used to work in a call center, and oh my god, I hated it. I was very good at it, which was the problem, and I sort of slowly rose up the ranks, as you do, but the problem was I hated it. It was soul crushing, and even though I was working for a department dealing with helping old and vulnerable people, it was still soul crushing on a day in, day out basis, some of the things that we had to do. And that was for a utilities company. So you can imagine some of the things we were dealing with weren't necessarily the nicest. But this was me every single day I went into work. It's like this was my permanent resting work face. Do you know what I mean? What you need to know, the Seven of Cups. I think you've got some tough choices, my darling, with your finances. I really do. But listen, you're in a position where you can make some choices, right? Seven's all about difficult choices, difficult options. The thing about the Seven of Cups is you do have lots of gifts, right? Quote unquote. There's lots of things here that are being offered. There's lots on the table for you. There's lots of places you could go. The problem is choosing and whittling it down to say, right, actually, I'm currently working for, I don't know, ABZ company, right? And over here at PQR company, I can do a similar job, but get paid more, but it's still in the same field. So that's not really interesting. So that's like one of these gift cups we remove, and then we maybe look at another one and we go, but I could risk everything, and I could be unemployed, and I could be a poet and try and make money on the slam poetry circuit. And you go, well, that's very difficult, and there's not a lot of money, and maybe I won't do that. So you take that one out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it feels like you've got a lot of options. You can have a lot of irons that you could put in a lot of fires, and you could have multiple different options there if you wanted to put that work effort in. It also feels, Wispy is telling me there are other irons in fires. It's like, I think for whatever it is that you do, you've either got some sort of hobby, interest, or something connected loosely with your work that you could monetize and have as an extra income stream. Whether that is, now, for instance, you might be really good at computers, right? You might be good at computers. Well, just being good at computers, you can earn money. People can bring their laptops to you. I am terrible with modern technology now, but you know, I've had friends in the past who were able to go, oh, what you need is this program and that program, and here's this and here's that and here's the other. And the reason that wasn't working is because, so I soldered it off the motherboard and reattached or whatever, right? You could work for a computer company, have all the skills to repair basic PCs, and put a little advert up in the local shops, and, take on small local jobs doing that, amongst many other things. It feels like you've got a lot of opportunity there, is what I'm trying to say. And to do some things that you really love, that will also boost your finances, because that is the ideal, isn't it? That is the thing we're all looking for in this world, to do something we love that also boosts our financial income. That's the ideal. The long-term outcome. Now, we've got the Magician. So earlier on, you heard me talk about the fact that we've got the first major arcana card of the deck. Well, these are the big ones that everybody knows. So the Magician looks a bit like this in some of the other decks. The Magician is all about manifesting change and creating the world around you that you want to have, right? Hold that thought, because this is also reversed. Now, when it's reversed, it can talk about a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of even procrastination. And for some reason, Wispy is giving me with this card, I think, oh, right, okay, Moon Sun, I'm going to be dead honest here, right? Dead honest. Wispy's giving me the vibe that as I'm talking to you about different options, you're not going to do any of them because you can't be bothered, right? That is the vibe. CBA, can't be asked, right? It feels like that is the vibe that is coming through. Now, the thing with the Magician is it does take work and effort. The Magician has all of the tools at their disposal So you can see we've got all sorts of bits and pieces. We've got the infinity symbol here. We've got a symbol that's tattooed on their arm here. We've got energy that's actually forming another infinity loop. There's a lot of energy and a lot of motion here. Is this a galaxy? What is this? Where is this energy coming from? The magician has all of the power, all of the stuff that they need to manifest a massive change. They've just got to believe that they can do it, put the study, the work and the practice in, and then do it. Okay? Wispy's saying that last bit is where you might have a little bit of a problem. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do hope that helps. It might just be that you need a bit of a kick up the bum to actually, start. I don't think there's anything going to fall in your lap, right? Oh, hang on. Let me do one of these. I don't think anything's going to fall in your lap. I don't think there's going to be a sudden lottery win or anything like that. It feels very much that you are absolutely going to need to set up your own extra income stream, right? That's what it feels like. Let's see what the cards are saying. Opposition. Yeah, this is where, thank you, Wispy. That's what I was perceiving. This opposition to the idea of doing more work. I think that's what you're going to have to overcome. I think you've got a bucket load of skills, right? And you could listen, if you're really good at proofreading, people need that skill on Fiverr. If you're really good at, design work, people need that on Fiverr. You might be a really good cartoonist, people need that on Fiverr. Whatever it is, whatever marketable skill you've got, if you don't want to set up a massive sort of, advertising and all of that, and get onto fiverr.com and work out on there what skills you have that other people are willing to pay for. There's all sorts of opportunities there. It doesn't have to be a massive thing where you set up your own big, massive company and all the rest. It can grow at the pace that you need it to. But this opposition to it, I think that's what you need to address, my darling. Procrastination is often there for a reason. It protects us from feeling overwhelmed, or, in my case, it protects me from my brain. Or rather, it doesn't necessarily protect me from my brain. It's an example of my brain going a bit high Y. High Y? No, that doesn't make any sense either. A bit hey Z, if you get what I'm trying to say. My brain going hectic. There you go. But yeah, it honestly feels, my darling, that you've got some skills. You need a kick up the butt. Yes, you absolutely do. This is your kick up the butt, because you could earn plenty of good money, right? Wispy is saying, I do. Haywire. Hello, Melinda. Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my darling. I've just seen that come up in the message. But yeah, absolutely, Moon Sun. You need to kick up the butt. You've got those skills. Get out there and start selling them. That makes it sound dodgy, right? I mean, right, it's up to you. Fiverr is one website, OnlyFans is another one. Very different line of work, but each to their own. Hi, Melinda. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a lovely Thanksgiving, my darling. I really do. Same to everybody in their United States. I hope you all have a really lovely Thanksgiving. I really do. And I hope you filled up with turkey and cranberry sauce, which always makes me think of one of the horror films where somebody is covered in red substance, and they ask, what is it? And he goes, it isn't cranberry sauce. No, because it's blood. That's what it is. It's blood. Yes, that stuff. You're more stuffed than the turkey. You see, we do that traditionally at Christmas. I know in America, Thanksgiving is the big holiday, over eating and drinking and being merry. Whereas for us here in the UK, it's massively Christmas. Massively Christmas. You made everything except the mashed potatoes. Oh, Oh, you could have invited us. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, my darling. But yeah, to everybody out there in the States, have a lovely Thanksgiving. If you're still doing it, well done you. If you decided to skip out and have a Friendsgiving, well done you. I also know somebody who is probably and a good acquaintance. I wouldn't necessarily call them a friend, but a good acquaintance. And they're having a polyamorous, hang on, what do they call it? Friends with benefits giving. So yeah, each to their own. Each to their own. However you're celebrating the various holidays this holiday season, happy holidays from us. I will be celebrating the solstice and Christmas and Vlogmas or Witchmas this year if I get my finger out and actually do it. So yeah, I will be celebrating lots of things. So just as an excuse to overdo everything really, but anyway, cheers. Your daughter makes the potatoes traditionally. Oh, that's lovely. Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday. Oh, well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the States. Yeah, let's celebrate it. Right then, should we have a celebratory round? I think we should. Shall we have a celebratory round? Let's put some applause in there as well. Yay! I don't have any Thanksgiving music. What have I got? No, I don't. What can we have for Thanksgiving music? I've got nothing on my soundboard. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything really, is there, on my soundboard? Anywhere close to a Thanksgiving tune. What would you play for Thanksgiving? What is Thanksgiving music? Turkey time, turkey time, turkey time, turkey time. Anyway, right then, let's have another round. The turkey time song. You never know. It could be really popular. Right then, let's go for. Sorry, I've made myself chuckle. Turkey time, turkey time, turkey time. It's turkey time. Obviously, that's loosely based on peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Just turkey. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's pop your questions into the live chat right now and go ahead, stick them in the live chat, starting with the word question if you would like a free reading. You won't automatically get yours picked. The only way to get yours guaranteed to be read is by sending it through in the form of a super chat. That can be any amount to get it in the list to get the next slot. But if you want to get yourself a longer reading with a bit more detail and more cards, you can do. All you need to do is send that through for at least £6 or $8 US. Either way, do what you need to do. Get those questions in. You've got about 28 seconds. Okay, the keeper of the questions has said Elise. Elize? Elise. E-L-I-Z-E. Elise? Elise. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I found the question, though. I love reading one. Let me just take the banner off. Is it Elise? If I say Elise, does that make sense? Hopefully that's somewhere close to what it should be, or it could be Elise. But if it's Elise, then just let me know in that there chat before I turn off the there we go, before I turn off the chat. I think it's Elise. Right then, so let's have a look. We are going to do your reading, my darling, in just about 15 seconds time. Mods, if Elise confirms the spelling, just let me know, or the pronunciation, I should say. Let me know in mod chat. We're swapping over, and I'll be doing your reading in 15 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Right then, let's have a wee look. So as always, we cleanse the space. Pick up that card. Cleanse the space by ringing the bell, and we also invite our lovely Wispy back. Wispy is the air elemental. He's an air dragon that is basically a creation in the form of a servitor or tulpa or egregore or thought form, and there's a whole podcast episode down in the description box. It links to it, which tells you all about my dragons. I do have 5 dragons, one for each of the 5 elements, and Wispy is the air elemental dragon, which is why, look at that flipped then, so that is your modifying card, but Wispy is the air dragon, which is why we play wind chimes for him. So then we've had a card flip, Elise. So this is basically a modifying or clarifying card. Now, as you can see, if you've been with us since the beginning of the stream, we don't get these very often, and when we do, they're important. When a single card jumps out of the deck and turns itself over like that. And we've got another repeat card. The Magician is coming back up. This is what you need to know. No, sorry, where you are. This is what you need to know. We've got the Justice card. So far, these are all major arcana cards. And then we've also got the King of Wands reversed coming up again. So again, a couple of repeat cards and lots of major arcana. So this could be an important reading. Let's have a look. So a love reading. Overall, right, the overriding card that we're looking through the lens of, if you like, is the Strength card. Now, in this case, you can see we've got a lamb and we've got a maiden. However, we've also got, is it the spirit of a lion? Is she half maiden, half lion? Where is that strength coming in? The standard image of strength is a little bit more like this, the maiden holding the lion, either taking out a poorly tooth from the lion's mouth or taking out a thorn from the lion's paw. Either way, it's that same sort of vibe. Strength is all about inner strength and finding that inner courage to do the things that are true to you, that you feel are right. And it means having the courage to take the steps when some things aren't right, to stand up. And, you know, when you see something happening that you are against, to stand up against them, but also to just be strong, to be strong physically, but mainly to be strong and resilient emotionally, and to be able to heal from previous pain and to move on from previous disappointment. Do you know what I mean? That is what this card is really, really, really pushing, especially when it comes in as a clarifying card, because what we're going to be looking at now for these 3 cards is how they can help you, strengthen you, and help encourage you to be stronger in your desires and all of that. Okay, so then where you are now, the Magician reversed. We have had the Magician earlier. However, this feels very different in my hand. This feels quite subdued, actually. What do I mean by that? Well, the Magician normally is a very powerful card, right? Even when it's reversed, it's normally a very powerful card. It's a card that in and of itself holds magic for what it represents. It holds magic. Okay, so literally the card itself, for me as an intuitive reader, whenever I have the cards in my hands, there's a sense I get from them. This magician, this reversal doesn't feel as if you are being manipulated. It feels almost that you are on the verge of giving up in terms of relationships and looking for love, and you know, oh god, here's another one, but is this partner going to be, you know, full of shit like the last one? That's what it feels like. It feels like you are giving up on the idea of finding a happy, healthy relationship. I don't know if that's hitting home, my darling, but that's certainly what it feels like. And the thing about the magician, even reversed, you've still got that ability to change things and to make those massive changes in your life. It's just when it's reversed, it feels like, oh, I'm not sure that I want to do that. Sometimes it can feel manipulative, but not for me. This strength card is flipping it again to have this other meaning of it's just not something that you believe is for you. But I guess I am the cards. I and the cards are here to say that you can find that love. You can turn your life and your dating life around, and you can have those connections. You've just got to keep putting in a bit of legwork and to get out there and to meet people. That's the key thing. Is unfortunately in this day and age, dating, certainly kind of getting to know someone for the first time or meet someone for the first time, is largely a numbers game. It used to be that you would have, you know, a matchmaker, or you would have someone, you know, an elder in the family or in the community who would say, oh, I see your Darren's daughter is now you know, turning into a fine young woman, and she's now, what is she now, 18? Oh, she might be interested in dating. Well, did you know our Robert's eldest, he's now 19, and he's just going into the army, and he's a very handsome man for 19. And oh yeah, do you know what I mean? There used to be people that would do that sort of thing within families, within friendship groups, within communities. You would have different people just introducing them to one another. There would be dances. There would be all of these occasions where people would meet. Nowadays, if you're young, you go bars and clubs and all the rest of it, or you go to the interwebs and to apps. And the thing is, all of that, all of the apps, all of the bars and the clubs, they're not really geared up for meeting someone that you are going to have a loving relationship with. They're very, very designed to have a lusting relationship, which, trust me, I am not in any way, shape or form denigrating or saying is not valid. It is very valid if that's what people want to have, you know, a fun night or a fun couple of days, a fling or whatever. Absolutely go for it. A one night stand or 1 hour stand, it doesn't matter. If that is what you need,
oh my,
and if that will do it, go ahead and have some fun, as long as everybody is safe and consenting. However, your question is about love, and I think you need to believe that it's out there for you and find a way of meeting people. We have got, in what you need to know, we've got a justice card. Now, this is really interesting because justice normally is all about legal matters. So if there's a courtroom nearby you that you can just kind of go, hi, I'm just going to hang around the courtroom and, you know, see if there's any attractive young single lawyers, because you never know. Or more likely, if there is some sort of legal case or some sort of matter of legality that you're a little bit sort of worried about, or that is somehow interfering, it's a little bit weird. It feels, again, it feels more like an injustice because this is reversed. It feels like something isn't fair, and I don't know in terms of your love life what that could be. I don't know whether that is the reasons that you're single. Maybe your ex treated you badly, or you split up, or somebody cheated. I don't know whether that's where this injustice feeling is coming from, but it's something which, if this is something you're holding on to from a previous relationship, just remember you've got the strength card there. You can get rid of this, right? You don't have to hold on to hurt or bad feelings or injustice from previous relationships. You've got the strength. You can get rid of it. You can just let it go. You've also got, in the future possibility, you've got the King of Wands reversed. Now, kings can be slightly older folks. They are also people that tend to be in a position of authority. The King of Wands is somebody that's very, very confident, right? Almost when it's reversed, veering into arrogance. So you do need just to make sure that it doesn't go too far that way. Do you know what I mean? That the person you're looking at doesn't turn out to be an arrogant piece of whatever, because the King of Wands this way up is somebody who's confident, quietly confident, knows their ability, but doesn't have to shout or doesn't have to raise their voice, doesn't have to use their muscles, doesn't have to do any of those things to stamp their feet on the ground. They carry that sense of authority with them. Now, this could be a person in authority is coming into your life. I think that is going to be somebody that may be a little bit older, and maybe, again, I'm very wary because we had a question earlier about somebody who turned out in a love reading where it was their manager that they were interested in, and this could be a similar thing, where it's either a manager or somebody that you are somehow that has some authority over you, or it could just be somebody who's a little bit older. You can see he's got a little bit of salt and pepper in his beard and along his hairline, because he is a king. He is a little bit more experienced. But again, because this card is reversed, I think you just need to be a little bit mindful. We are getting into party season with Christmas and New Year and all the rest of it. There's a lot happening in the next sort of 6 weeks that will give you lots of opportunities to get out there and to meet people, as long as you are safe and everything is consenting. That meeting people could turn into a relationship. It could turn into a bit of fun for the evening. It could turn into nothing but friends. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I do think there is a strong possibility that there is somebody coming, particularly if it is that authority figure, if you're drawn to that sort of quite strong type person, if that strong kind of leader energy is something that you're drawn to, it's very possible that that is coming up within the end of the year, before the end of the year, because that's all I tend to see is about 6 weeks with any sort of clarity. I hope that helps. Excuse me. I hope that helps, Elise. I'm going to pull you a Intuitive Insights Oracle card. These are from the Witch Casket monthly subscription box that I get. And let's just have a wee look. We're going to go for that one there. This is Tears. Okay. I think this is possibly relating to these two, the Magician reversed and the Justice reversed. I've got a strong feeling that when I was saying there's an injustice here, I think the last person the last serious relationship you had, I think you got done dirty. I really do. And that's where these tears are coming in. But again, you've got that inner strength to move beyond that hurt. You really, really, really do. And as I say, I honestly feel that you've got this. I think you've got a positive end to 2024 in terms of meeting folk and, perhaps looking at potential relationships, or at least having a bit of fun and and getting to know a few new people. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And again, Thank you ever so much for your question, Elise. Let me change that camera back. There we go. My voice is beginning to croak on me, everybody. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to read for right now. Don't forget, if you want to, I'll probably do maybe 2 more readings. So if you want to make sure that you get one of those 2 places, please do send your question through in the form of a super chat. That will guarantee your place. Thank you for the reading. It makes a lot of sense. Elise, my darling, you are more than welcome. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, as I say, don't forget, everybody, if you are wanting one of the last 2 slots, the only way to guarantee a reading is to send it as a super chat. Any amount over $6 will get you £6, $8 will get you a longer reading. Okay, that's how that works. We are going to open up a free round. Don't forget, with a free round, what we do is we invite everybody to pop their questions into the hat effectively, and one of them get chosen at random. Once again, I've probably only got time for 2 more readings. If you want to get one of those last slots, I can see we've got quite a few people on today. So if you want to get one of the 2 last slots for today's readings, then just send your request through in the form of a super chat. Either way, the round is open now. Go ahead, pop your question into that there live chat, and one of those will be selected at random. Just in case you've forgotten everything that I've just said, here is a handy recap. Okay, right then. So, keeper of the questions is saying, Sarah, I've got your question. Let me have a wee look, my darling. Let's take the banner off right now then, everybody. This is your warning. We've got 1 more slot after this one. There's only going to be time for 1 more slot after this one. So whoever sends the first super chat will guarantee that place. Okay, so there may or may not be another free round, depending. If somebody snipes it with a super chat, then that will be the last free round of this evening. And if not, then there will be another free round. And again, that will be your last chance to get your reading in. I would recommend a super chat if you can, if you want a reading on tonight's stream. Right then, Sarah, is there any potential with the guy I'm attracted to? Let's see what the cards have to say, my darling. I'm going to do that in the space of, go on. We'll do it in 17. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Okay then, so let's have a look. Here we go. So then, Wispy. Sarah would like to know, is there any potential with the guy that she is attracted to? Is there any potential with the guy that Sarah is attracted to? Let's have a look. Here we go. Right there. Oops. Is that 1 card? It was 1 card. Ooh, 5 of Wands. Right. So again, we've got a clarifying or modifying card. Now then, Sarah, this clarifying or modifying card is the Five of Wands. This is talking about turmoil, and this is talking about turmoil in your confidence. Okay, so when we're talking about is there potential with the guy you're attracted to, the card that's come up is talking about this idea of maybe confidence and self-esteem is going to be a little bit of an issue here. Maybe you are going to need to, how can I put it? Maybe you are going to need to gird your loins, if you like. You're going to need to absolutely, like, how can I put it? I think you're going to need to be very confident, right, about moving forward with this person. I don't think that playing things coyly are going to be, I don't think that's going to necessarily work. Let me have a look. Don't forget, everybody. Oh gosh, don't forget, everybody. The only way to guarantee the last slot in tonight's readings is with that last super chat option. Right then, so we have where you are right now, King of Cups. Ooh. Now, if this is, so we're looking at the potential with the guy. If the guy's the King of Cups, that's interesting. Interesting. Cups is your emotional suit. King is the authority figure, the head of the household, the tribal chief. We've then got the Three of Pentacles in what you need to know about growth, and then we've got the Nine of Wands. Oh, Wispy, you don't make it easy, do you? Hang on. So then, if the King of Wands, King of Cups, if this is the person you're attracted to, I can kind of understand why, because the King of Cups gives a very it's a very gentle but very confident vibe, right, that the king projects. He's very assured, I can't speak tonight, very assured of himself, very confident in his own ability and in his own position, basically. But he's also someone, the reason he's that confident is because he's been through an awful lot. He's had to lead his people, if you like, in lots of different scenarios to become that laid back king. This isn't a king who has to worry about all of the other kingdoms kind of coming to take his throne, if you like, or within the kingdom. So it's somebody who is quietly confident, somebody who is sort of can speak quietly but wear that iron glove. Do you know what I mean? Somebody who's got that authority around them. So if that is the person, if I'm describing the person, and that's a good opportunity. In what you need to know, we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is where things might take a little bit of a turn, because the Three of Pentacles is normally, for me, a card about learning, about growing. It's a card about things like apprenticeships and things like that, where you are, building on and adding to your knowledge and taking things forward, and you are, creating and learning and doing all of these things. When it's reversed, it almost feels like there's a closed element here around growth and around growing it within a relationship and without. Again, Sarah, hang on. I'm going to come in. I don't normally come into the live chat. Hang on. That one? No, not that one. Hang on. There we go. I'm in the live chat. I'll just go like, oh, I can't post. I can't wave or anything in the live chat, right? But I'm in the live chat. The last message was there is time for one more super chat tonight that will guarantee your reading from Patricia. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But Sarah, is the guy you're interested in, the guy you're attracted to, is he a little bit older? Because if he is and he's got that swagger, then this might be why he doesn't want to grow forward. He doesn't want kids. He doesn't want to, continue learning and developing. He's kind of possibly a bit set in his ways, and he is older. Yeah. If he's a bit set in his ways, my darling, if he is set in his ways, right, then there may not be the opportunity to have kids. There may not be the opportunity to have, massive growth together in terms of, big things in life. I'm not saying because he's already done it or because he's so old, but there's a certain truth to that, if you get my meaning. It may well be that there are certain things that he has done in his life that he won't want to go back and redo. It might even be, it could even be down to things like, maybe not going out for dinner and not going out to see that, going out to the movies, to the pictures. You know what I mean? It may be that he doesn't want to do sort of those sort of date nights, and he's more comfortable being at home, whereas you're, perhaps more interested in getting out of the house and having an evening of fun somewhere else, whether that is theatre and a meal, or cinema and a meal. Do you know what I mean? It feels like there might be a disconnect here. The future, though, we've got the 9 of Wands. So again, there's a lot of confidence here. Now, the 9 of Wands, I've always said that the 9 is full and the 10 is overflowing. Okay. So what that basically means is that is that in this case of Wands, I think he is really confident. I think he is super confident, really, really at the top of his league. It wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't some sort of professional, with this, it could be even a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, something like that, where he's got some position of authority. Could be a manager somewhere. It could be, anything. And when I say professional, he could be a manager at McDonald's. He's got authority about him. He doesn't have to be a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, those things that I just said. You know what I mean? That's not the only way that somebody can be in authority and super confident. I think this 5 of Wands keeps coming back. There's a weird vibe about these cards, Sarah, right? And that is, if you are younger, right? If you are younger, it could be that there is a bit of a divide as to what you need from a relationship and to what he's able to offer, right? The thing that is interesting is that as the King of Cups, he's going to be very romantic. He's going to be very, very good at the romance game, very good at the loving game, very good at the bedroom game, perhaps. That's what the King of Cups does. The King of Cups is a lover and a master of all of that, right? So it kind of depends on where you are coming in, right? If you are somebody who is comfortable with maybe living your life at maybe a different pace than you were expecting, then maybe go with it. And again, I'm not saying because he's older that he's going to be, resting up, getting ready for his nursing home. I'm not saying that at all. It keeps coming back to this idea of this turmoil and this sort of everybody pulling at which way that the Five of Wands is giving us. And this just keeps, there's a little thing at the back of my head that's a bit like, either he's going to get pissed off if you want to go to the roller disco every Saturday, do you know what I mean? Or you're going to get pissed off when he just wants to sit down with a blanket over his knees and do the crossword book. Both of those are really like offensively at poles. I don't mean either of them, but do you know what I mean? It's almost like there is a slight, I don't know how to put it. I tell you what, Wispy, pull me one more card. I'm going to pull one more card because, and I'm going to pull it from the middle, Wispy. It's feeling like it does have potential for something. Whether that something is what you're imagining a relationship to be and what you want from a relationship is a whole other thing. For some reason, we're going to do this card here, which is, okay, it's Two of Cups. Okay, I'm happy. So the Two of Cups is basically, it's the ultimate, it's almost up there with the Lovers for me. The Two of Cups, twos are people coming together, so whether that's Two of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Cups, the two itself is people coming together to become one, as the Spice Girls so famously said. So that is really important, right? We've got that too. Cups is your emotional suit. Cups is the emotional suit. So whilst there's this potential for things to go a little bit sort of off, the fact that you've got the Two of Cups, when I pulled for a clarifying of itself, I think this is good. Listen, if I was you, if I was you, which I'm not, but if I was you, and hang on, let me rephrase that, because you make all your decisions about your own life, right? If it was me getting this reading, there we go, and I was in a situation where there was somebody I was attracted to who was a little bit older and may well be a very good fit for what I'm looking for in a relationship, but the relationship itself might be a little bit different, I would absolutely go for it and make a play for that person, because that's I'm imagining that, you know, they're attracted to you in reverse, in you know, as well. I'm assuming that you already have had some sort of connection with them. It's not just somebody you fancy, you know, in across the room. It does feel as if that spark is there. It does feel as if that connection is there. It may well not be the relationship that perhaps you are expecting, but every single relationship is different, and each relationship, each brand new relationship we start, has the potential to be very, very, very different from the last one or from any of the previous relationships, right? So bear that in mind. This is saying there's a lot of ifs and buts, but if you really want to go for it, the cards have got your blessing with this Two of Cups. I'm really happy that came up, because it was feeling very wishy-washy and a little bit almost like I was telling you, doesn't matter how much you fancy him, it's not going to be a good relationship. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this feels that at least there is that connecting spark and that connecting energy there between you. Right, let's pull a single oracle card. Empathy. There you go, my darling. That is the way with this. Be empathetic. Be empathic with each other. No, be empathetic. Basically, if listen to his needs, make sure he listens to yours, put each other's needs first, you know, all of those lovely, 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 important things. That is how this relationship can work, is with empathy for each other and for understanding of where each other is. I hope that helps, my darling. Listen, if I were you, no, if I got this reading, I personally would take the reins, and I personally would go, do you know what, Bob? Do you fancy going for coffee, or do you fancy, you know, looking at jigsaw puzzles? Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, I would, yeah, make that first date and see where things go. It feels like you've got a connection there. Let us know, my darling. Let us know how it goes. I'm always fascinated to know, and we're always waiting on the first Beyond Authentic wedding so we can attend via Zoom, and we can all get dressed up in our best finery. But there you go, everybody. That is it. It is nearly midnight. My voice is almost gone. I was up early this morning as well. And yeah, it's been a hell of a long day for me. Maybe I ran out of spoons a couple of hours ago. Anyway, oh God, my voice really is going. Hold on one second. There we go. Hopefully you can still just about hear me. But that is going to be it from me, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for a late shift. The lights have been subtly put down in the back, as you can see, for that nice warm evening sort of vibe. But thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully I will see many of you again. I am back on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time for some more tarot readings. However, for our lovely members, I will be back at 6 p.m. On Sunday. 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 1st of December, for our members only live stream. Okay, so yeah, do make sure that if you are one of our lovely members, do make sure you join us for that. But that is it for me today, and as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you in the next one, which, as I say, is on Sunday. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everybody who watched. I will see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with